The Dogon people of South Mauritania also relate Sirius with their crop cycles. This dance belongs to Bulu, a ceremony to favor the fertility of the land before the first rains. Most civilizations have personified in supernatural entities the powers of creation and the forces of nature responsible for their survival. And all of them have tried to communicate with their gods or even transport themselves to the place where they live. The northern Sanema, or Yanomami, live in one of the least explored areas of Venezuela, in the Cora Basin, an affluent of the Orinoco River. They have a curious way of traveling to the world of the spirits of the jungle. They inhale a powerful hallucinogen called sakona, or yopo, that they get from the bark of the amahi tree. It's with that they can find their morsby, the part of the soul that lives in their protective animal. Like the Yanomami, many of New Guinea's people believe in supernatural entities that live in the jungle. The Asaro live in the highlands near the border with Indonesia. Known as the Clay Men, the Asaro have long since taken advantage of those beliefs, changing into spirits to defend themselves against their enemies. On Isla del Sol, in Lake Titicaca, the Yatiri pays homage to Tata Inti, the sun god. At dawn, the holy fire's smoke rises, invoking Viracocha, the Inca god that created the world from this island. Man prayed for the sun to come out every day, but also wondered if it could come out on its own. The ancient Egyptians believed that no sky, earth, gods, men, animals, or plants existed before creation. There was only an immense void they called none that contained Atum, the beginning of all things. In the 19th century, a curious papyrus was found in the excavations of ancient Thebes, in which Ra himself describes his own creation. It was I that came into existence, like Jepri. When I came into existence, being came into existence. And all beings came into existence after I came into existence. The Bremner Rind Papyrus and the primitive texts of the pyramids were the first representations of the Egyptians on the world's creation and the origins of the gods. Atum became aware of himself, and Ra, the sun, appeared. Then he named Shu, and the winds started to blow. Afterwards, he called out Tefnut, and it started to rain. Shu and Tefnut had two children, Geb, the earth, and Nut, the sky. Since Geb and Nut got married, Nut is always over Geb, the sky over the earth. The stars were born from their union. Geb and Nut begot Osiris, Isis, Seth, and Nephthys, and they spawned the multitudes that inhabit this land.
When Ra, or the demiurge, created the world, he established order and justice, and cast the forces of chaos to a distant, separate plane of that ordered world, that just world that Ra created, and where obviously gods and men also appeared. Nonetheless, those forces of chaos that stayed just outside of the perfect world created never ceased to threaten Ra and the order established upon creation.
In their eagerness to understand the world around them, the Egyptians started to build a complex magical universe. From the texts of the pyramids, written around 2350 BC, the scribes and priests started to update the texts in accordance with the evolution of the religious ideas, until the Book of the Dead came about in 1300 BC. "200 years earlier, however, they thought they had solved the enigma of Ra. They deducted that two different worlds coexisted, the one we see and the one where Ra wandered through the night and the deceased inhabited, a mysterious place they called the underworld.